Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to today's stream. Um, I'm just going to test things out real quick to see if we don't have any problems, and then we can shoot off. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're doing well. So let me share the links as well real quick. Okay. Okay. So just playing games. What's up, man? I saw you tuned in a bit sooner. Thanks for the support. No bonus gift for you, though. Sorry. And the guy with the Russian name, I'm not sure if it's Russian, but hello. Okay, so today's stream, I am going to we are going to have a quick market review, and then I want to talk about low time frame triggers. It's something that I know a lot of people struggle, and we are going to talk about my models and strategies to get low time frame triggers. So let's start with our market review on Bitcoin. So first thing first. We were in this range for about 2 months, okay, and so as you know, if you know me, you know that when I have a range, I just like to have the volume profile for that range on my chart as well. So let me remove the unnecessary lines. Okay, so so when you add volume profile, I mean, it's a pretty simple tool. Some people, I mean, find it complicated, but it's really not. I have a lot of resources in the Discord and like other places about volume profile, but it's a very useful tool since it always give you an understanding of the market and how the volume is distributed in the range. So volume profile, for those who don't know, gives us 3 levels. One is the value area low. So this boundary is called value area low, and this is the value area high. All right. This orange line is the level that the most amount of volume has been traded, right? So, and this is called point of control. But usually when we have a range, so this is our price action range low, right? And this is the price action range high. Usually when we have a price action range, a ranging environment, I add the volume profile, and I want to see 2 things basically. One is a deviation out of the price action range, which is this one, okay, and the deviation out of the value area of the volume profile. So it would look like something like this. So two deviations, right? uh I mean, I want to call it two deviation strategy. I don't like it though, but yeah. So I want two deviations basically. And the reason, for those who don't know, hello Carlos Lozano, what's up, man? And for those who don't know, we are basically looking for deviations, because the deviation outside of the value usually suggest a discount or a premium. Okay, so let me give you a model example. Okay, so let's say, remove, so we add the profile. Okay, okay, so if I hide the chart for a second, what's up, Vac? How are you, man? uh, so yeah, so when we have a range and the market is kind of balancing in our profile, okay, it's kind of ranging basically. When you get a deviation out of this value area of the volume profile, um, it means, if you really think about it, it means that the market participants have agreed that this is the range for this amount of time. For the most amount of time, the market participants have agreed that this is the balancing. This is the range that we're talking about. This is, I buy here, I sell here. I buy here, I sell here. Okay, so the sellers were selling here, buyers were buying, and we've been ranging. All right. But right now that we are outside of this value area, or we made a deviation outside of the balance zone, if you really think about it, this is some kind of a discount. Okay, so those traders who who are actually a little bit more experienced, they come and buy here because we're outside the value and the price is lower than it used to be at the bottom, so it's basically a discount for them. I mean, unlike all those classical books and methods that they were saying, they basically saying, if we go outside of a range, you should short. So this is what they kind of talk about. But I mean, this is not how the markets work, at least uh, for now. So yeah, when we find acceptance into the value area, uh, there's a good chance that you retest the value area low and go and test the other extreme of the value area. Okay, so this is basically what I'm looking for. And I am seeing uh, Bernd, if I'm pronouncing it right. He says, do you use a 70% value area or shorter one? Now, so I know what you're asking. So I use 70, but I know a lot of legacy people use 68. And this 68 is basically the default value of a lot of other platforms, like in XOchart. I know for a fact that they use 68, but I mean, 70 doesn't really matter. Slightly the levels like changes slightly, but yeah, I use 70. I don't think it's something that makes lots of like difference. So yeah, that's it about the theory. Let's jump back into the chart. So I add the candles, okay, and basically this is what I was talking about. So we had this range, okay, so this was our range. Now we made a deviation outside the value area and outside the ranging the price action range that we got. All right. uh but now we are currently inside the value area. So we have found acceptance. We have a lot of trapped traders here. So all those people who listened to John Murphy and shorted this are now trapped. And I can assure you, if we add volume, yeah, we have a volume spike as well. So usually in these situations, people get excited, and we usually witness a spike in volume as well. So you see all these people who have shorted this are now trapped here. Okay, and that's basically what's fueling the market and I mean helping it going up. So so yeah, this is a very important thing as well, especially on low time frame. We are going to get into it as well, but yeah, on high time frame, this is what I'm looking for. So since we have found acceptance into the value area, I am looking for a move. I mean, hopefully a retest. I mean, I would love to get a retest for a refill and uh, another position that can like on BTC. My target would be the value area high, but honestly, I mean these days that we are kind of entering a bull market and things go up uh, more than they go down. I kind of only TP at these levels that I'm looking for. So I TP at the POC if we get a retest. I TP at the value area high, and then I keep the rest open for new all-time highs or maybe even a retest of this local all-time high that we got. Uh, but yeah, but there's a good chance if we found like uh the players that we're looking for, if we get enough volume into the market, I think there's a good chance that we can make a new all-time high. But yeah, this is basically my explanation on the um, 12-hour time frame on BTC. Altcoins are kind of lagging a little bit. I know for a fact. Like this is ETH, right? That I mean BTC was ranging, but ETH is kind of trending to the downside. Um, but what I'm really looking for on ETH is, I mean, of course, we don't have like this the huge 2 month range that we got on BTC, but we have a smaller one here, right? So it doesn't matter. The principle that stays the same. And sorry about that. I mark my range like this, okay, and I add the volume profile. So it's a good thing that we can get another example here. Okay, so you can see, I mean, it's interesting. The things that we talked about on BTC chart and the previous range happened already happened on 4 hour time frame on ETH. Okay, so we got a deviation here. Okay, uh, after we found acceptance, we retested the value area low, and it's kind of retesting the value area high. So a move from here to here, I mean, it definitely was a nice trade. I mean, maybe here, stop loss here, TP here, 3R. I mean, looks good, okay? And 3R is fine for swing trading. But yeah, I mean, this is just another example of how I see the market. So I always look for a range, and I look for deviations out of the range, because I mean, to be honest, we always do that when in real life as well. We look for things that are kind of at discount to buy and at premium to sell, right? So here, when we were deviating outside of this balancing zone, we had a discount, and display from here to here was a nice long trade. Uh, uh, so also for the short side, I mean, this is just a textbook range, right? We had a deviation, okay? After finding acceptance, we retested the value area high. I mean, not perfectly, but I mean, it's fine, right? And we went and tested the other extreme of the volume profile. All right. So yeah. Now we want to talk about the topic. Oh, by the way, guys, just let me know if you have questions. We have a lot of time for the questions today. and I always like to answer interesting questions. So yeah, when it comes to actually trigger trading these setups, these I mean, sure, we have a range on 4-hour time frame on ETH, on 12-hour time frame on BTC, but one thing that I wouldn't do is I wouldn't like set bids on 12-hour time frame on this level and then target something like this, maybe a stop loss here. I try my best whenever I have time, of course. I try my best to find like more greedy, to be greedy entry. So maybe if I can get a lower one, I mean, why not, right? In the end, it's going to be more profit for me. So uh, if you also see my content on Twitter, on Discord, most of the things that I share are just low time frame, and because whenever I like open up my chart, uh, I get an idea on higher time frame, and then I just switch into lower time frame to trade the setups that I was talking about. Okay, so uh, for example, I'm going to switch to the uh, Binance chart, because that chart is a little bit like messy, and I don't like the complicated charts. And okay, so this is basically the local range. Now I know for a fact, um I know that what's going on higher time frame, so the context is always important. Okay, I wouldn't just start on a 1-hour time frame, but since I know what's going on high time frame, I just start with 1 hour, and I find the local range. So this is our local range, kind of. Hello, Rafal. Welcome. Uh, okay, and I try I try my best to get better entries, right? Right. For example, even like if we are honest here, this trade right here, I mean, we got a like from here, of course, we got like 10% move, but from here we got like 6%, but we never had a retest, right? So sometimes when you are uh, trading on a higher time frame, you just don't get filled, right? So that's another reason that I like to trigger my trades on low time frame. So Project Arca has a question, and he or she says, how do you define the ranges? So I mean, I mean, takes a little bit of experience, of course, but one thing that I kind of recommend you to do is that uh, whenever you should start like this. Okay, so you find the local high. I mean, let's say we are here, okay, and you want to mark the range, because I mean, another thing that I see a lot of people on Twitter share on their charts is that they share the ranges after they're formed. Okay, but I mean, those ranges are not useful, right? Because you need to trade the bottom and the top of the range. But if you have it like from here, if you mark it from here, right, like this range is like kind of it's kind of ending, right? So we've been here for 3 months. It's always good to have your range much sooner than like right now. Okay, so this is what I suggest you to do. I mean, of course, you should practice it, but you so let's say we are here, right? So you should find the high of the range, the top of the range, the local top that you have, okay, which is here. I mean, the same applies for the range, the accumulation range basically. So then you find the first low after the high. Okay, so it's going to be this one. Okay, now I'm going to give you example, of course, here, but so then I mark the this one and this one. Now why I mark this? Because it's kind of the top of the range that created this. Okay, um, and then there we go, I have my range, right? This. Okay, so you find the high. I mean, of course you can do this as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but for this one, you see, if we add this, we got a perfect retest of this one. Okay, so yeah, usually you can also mark it as a zone like this, but I don't like, I don't like the like boxes basically. I want to know about the levels, even if they're slightly like off. But yeah, I like lines, not boxes. That's my personal preference. But yeah, here's your range, right? Then you add your profile and uh, do your things, right? Yeah, but we were talking about 1 hour time frame and how we can actually trigger. Okay. Okay. So uh, again, as I said, and as you probably know, I look at everything in terms of ranges. Okay, and because in the end there are the ranges that are important for us. Okay, and I'm going to explain it in a second. So uh, like when you are looking at something like this, it's, I mean, usually you can spot the low. Okay, at least the local one. So you mark the low. Let me mark it like this. Okay, so this is the low. I mean, don't get obsessed with it. I mean, this is the low, right? Now, what I am interested in, I mean, for a trigger, if I am looking for a reversal. Okay, so the first thing is that you should have the context. Okay, you should have the edge. You should be looking for a reversal. I mean, you cannot just open up your chart on lower time frame and start trading. Okay. Carlos Lozano is asking about the indicator. So it's here, right, in the projections. Um, it is fixed range volume profile in the volume based section. Okay. Now, so what you need to do is, if you have the edge, if you have the context back, and you are looking for a reversal here. Okay, this is what I do for my entry triggers. I find a low. Okay, then I go back to the chart. So I find the low, I go back. Okay, and I find the range that created this low. Okay, and I mark it as a whole. Now, of course, I mark the point, the levels that I'm looking for, but for the sake of education, I'm marking the whole range, right? So this is the whole range that created this low for me, right? I mean, nothing complicated, right? This is the low. This is the range that created this low. All right, and then I'm going to extend this range. Okay, and once we are kind of inside this range, I mean, of course, this is not like the perfect example, but I like to give you kind of real time examples. Not the hindsight easy peasy. We were going to talk about the real time price action as well, but I mean, for now, this is the trade that we got during the weekend, right? So I mean, uh, in Friday, of course. So once we find acceptance into this range, now I wait for the retest of of this one. Okay, and I basically get a trigger. Okay, the stop loss is just a swing point here, which is this one. I know might be a little bit complicated, but I should probably do a stream about the stop losses. Now my take profit level is basically the liquidity zones to the other side. This is the first one. This is the second one. Of course, this is the first one, right? This liquidity zone. So I TP here, I TP here, and I TP here. Overall, not a bad trade. But the important thing is, this is the important thing. If you go higher on time frame, you can see that there was no way for you to take a trade here, right? But you could took it on lower time frame like this. Okay, now as I said, this is not the perfect example of it. Maybe we can do another chart on the ETH range, but yeah, let's do it actually. Why not? So this is the range that we had. Okay, and 1 hour time frame looks fine. Yeah. Okay, so I'm doing it. I'm giving you another example, basically, right? So, so this is this. So since we are deviating, okay, and the price is at discount, I can look for a long, right? And yeah, this is probably a better example. So what I do is I mark the low, okay, and then what I the next step for me is that I would look for the range, the most recent range, basically, that created the low, which is this one. Of course. Okay, so nothing complicated, right? So when we are finding acceptance inside this range, of course, I'll look for volume, I'll look at open interest and everything, but you can do it purely based on price action as well. Those things are just optional, right? So the most greedy entry is this one. Okay, so is the range low, but I mean, of course, you can like you could enter on the value area here as well. The most important thing here is that you should look for this pattern, not like as a buy or sell pattern. Okay, so I know a lot of people do things like this. Okay, I usually do it as well, and they say when you get something like this, you should buy here. But I mean, I don't like patterns in general because they could get manipulated a lot, right? This system that I talked about, we find the low, you find the range, and then you get entry, is more is more for you to kind of analyze what's going on. So whenever we get a pushback inside the range that created this low, so we are kind of working on a reversal, right? I don't want to give you like buy sell things, buy sell levels. Okay, that just wouldn't work because it gets manipulated easily. But yeah, generally markets reverse when they basically are have gained back the previous range that created this their local low on or high, of course, on the if you invert the chart. So yeah, back here has a question. Do you go lower than one? Yeah, so it depends basically on my higher time frame analysis and higher time frame range and what I'm looking for. So honestly, most of my trades are on lower time frames. You know that I have my liquidation levels. I usually have this on low time frames, right? But and I do take a lot of scalp trades, but unfortunately, I couldn't find a good framework to share the scalp trades with you. I know, like for example, BC Richfield. I mean, my good friend. He goes live. Of course, if you enjoy that, you can join us in Discord. He goes live and do live trading sessions 3 times a week, right? But yeah, I couldn't really find a good framework to share the scalp trades. But yeah, to answer your question, I go lower than 1 hour time frame to execute, especially when I'm day trading kinda, right? But yeah, this 1 hour is just because my range is on 4, okay, and it just always makes sense to have more data to trigger. I mean, right? Same goes for the Bitcoin trade. So yeah, today also in Discord I shared this trade, right? I wanna give you an under the idea behind this. So first thing first was that Sol is kind of hitting into a massive resistance level. So if we are doing our own thing here, so first of all, this level is important, right? And this is basically uh, this has been the high for us for 12 days basically. So this is uh, hugely liquid level, right? So a lot of people are interested. And another thing about this range, when I opened up Sol chart today, this I noticed that we haven't had a retest of this level. Okay, so another reason that this range is important for us is this one. So you see that I so this example, this trade is on, so my analysis is on 1 hour time frame, right? So my high time frame uh, analogy is on 1 hour, and when I go back, uh, I find ETH on um at resistance, and then when I do the things that I do, so this is the high, this is the range that created the high. Okay, we get a retest of the range, and it goes down afterwards. Of course, it was a little bit tricky. I was looking at the volume that I could manage to do to take this, because yeah, purely based on price action, if you would do it, you couldn't get an entry. But I was watching the order flow, and BTC was massively bearish at that time. So I just kind of entered a little bit. I mean, I didn't take the greedy entry, right? I took the most safest one, which was this. Uh Sepster, if I'm not mistaken, sorry. Is that the range, the previous main structure high and the main structural high? And so of course I'm not sure if you're talking about which range are you talking about, but I think I understand your question. So it's not the previous main generally, okay? I care about the local highs and lows, okay? So the Bitcoin so the Bitcoin chart is of course a good example of it, okay? uh so if we are trading here, okay, uh I wouldn't choose this as my range low. So now correct me if I'm wrong, if I didn't get your question correctly, but not the previous one. And my range is here. So these are the points that I marked my range, okay, and this one, okay. So these are the two levels that I marked my range based on, okay. I don't really care about this. If I'm basically on 12-hour time frame. But yeah, if I'm trading this locally, of course this level gets more important. But it's always uh, it always comes back to the higher time frame edge that you got based on your uh, analysis. And I on a higher time frame, I use price action range, I use the reversal, I use volume profile, uh, I use TPO to find my edge and find my points of interest. Okay. Uh, yeah. But I already have a lot of videos on TPO. I have a full course about TPO in our Discord. So if you are interested, you can just check that out. But yeah, for today we're just talking about low time frame triggers and how I do my top down analysis. Now, if you have a chart request, you can type it in the chat and I would take a look real quick. If not, I just work on other examples. Yeah, this MATIC chart, this MATIC trade was also an interesting one. So 4 hour, okay. I can probably remove these levels, okay. So yeah, the range low. This is the first high after the range low. So this is going to be my range high, right? Now you can also use this channel tool in TradingView. It gives you the median level as well. I don't really like it. I just use lines. Oh, Dixie. Dixie is a nice one. Nice call. I will definitely take a look. Hi, Erika. Welcome. Okay, so yeah, whenever I open up a plain chart like MATIC, I just start on higher time frames, right? You always have to do it, kind of get a general idea of what's going on, right? So the first thing that I look for is that MATIC is creating new lows, right? So we have went below this low. We have already taken all the liquidity below this one, okay? And when I just go lower on time frame, I try to find my range, okay? So just to start with the range, it has always been a good idea and a good way for me to look at the charts, okay? You kind of have a checklist. You know what you're looking for in any chart. So yeah, the first thing that I try to find on any chart is a range, right? Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So yeah, and I talked about how I mark my range, right? Now, when I when I do that, I just ask this question for myself that what are we doing, right? Are we at premium? Are we at discount? Or we're just balancing? We're just ranging, okay? So during this whole range, I mean in this inside the range, okay, during this period, you see, I'm not really interested in this price action. Why? Because uh because I didn't find a good discount or premium level to jump in. As I said, I always like to get uh, to jump into a long when the price is at discount, and I always when it's at premium. Of course, we had another example here, but let's talk about the local price action, right? Now, Matic right now uh, has made a new local high and grabbed all the liquidity, created the deviation. You see, these are just the same things, right? Now, this is, I mean, someone asked about time frames, right? So if I were to trigger a trade on 4 hour time frame, of course I can analysis, and I can in my analysis I can say that there's a chance for us to meet the other extremes of the range. But if you really look at the chart, you have two candles that you can decide based on, okay? So this is the point that I try to get more data and basically go lower on time frame, Okay, I forgot to add the profile. So after I found the range, I add the profile as well. As I said, I like the profile because you always get three important levels. Okay, and it usually gives you a good understanding of what we're doing. Okay, so this is our profile. Kind of a trending profile. I mean, you see that the point of control is at the top of the range. It usually suggests that this asset is kind of tends to go higher. Okay, let's put it like that. I have in my course I explain the profile types, but I don't want to get into it right now. Okay. Uh, what is profile? So profile is volume profile, right? You come here, you choose fixed range volume profile, you give it 2 points, one at the start of the range and the second one is going to be at the end of the range, and you get this profile. Of course, you can copy my settings as well. You can take just screenshot or go back in the video, but yeah, so I get my first I got my first deviation outside of the volume range. Okay, and then sorry, outside of the price action range, and I get my second deviation outside the value area. Okay, uh of course you need to give it a little bit of room. So if I see that we're kind of doing this, we're kind of finding acceptance inside the value area. Okay, then I go even lower on time frame and trigger based on what I showed you. But yeah, for now, if we do something like this, especially if we especially this point of control is a little bit of problem for for shorters, right? But if we kind of flip the point of control as well, I would expect all these gaps to fill out and maybe a retest of the range low. Okay, so uh so yeah, something like this is definitely on the table for MATIC here. Yeah, so you see, I look for a deviation uh basically outside of the price action range and another deviation outside of the volume range, right? um they usually like I usually use them in confluence with each other. But yeah, I mean, this is I mean, you should take into consideration that if we are on 1 hour time frame, this can just retest the POC and do this. But it's really important that you if we find acceptance, we kind of testing out the value area but couldn't go above. Uh, you can short from here, do maybe this. I mean, your stop loss is a little bit messy, but I mean, you can put it here above this fair value gap and kind of target this range. And don't, yeah, maybe even this low here. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. If we're shorting MATIC, of course, I don't have any position right now. Yeah. So let me know about your charge requests, guys. In the meantime, Bernd asked about Dixie. And let's look at Dixie. Ah, beautiful. Okay. Nice. You see that this is exactly what I was looking for. I should update the tweet now. So again, you see I have my range on Dixie as well. So range everywhere, right? I'll look at near for you after Dixie. So on the daily, right? So this is the range. This is the range high. This is the range low. Which I marked. Of course, these are for 2023. We're looking at the daily time frame, right? You see, so first of all, I mean, look at the deviations. Look how accurate they were, right? So this deviation to the downside when we come above, gained the range and retested it, we just went to the other extreme to this to form this deviation. Okay, and then we find acceptance inside, retested it. I mean, it wasn't the perfect one, but it still tested the other extreme of the range, right? So usually if you look at everything in terms of ranges, you kind of make your life easier. But yeah, um, from here to here, I mean, it's easy, right? We got a mini deviation here. Okay, and from here we went and make another deviation to the upside. So from discount to premium, from discount to premium, and right now we're kind of inside the range. Guess what I'm expecting? Uh, a test of the this extreme of the range. So something like this. Okay. Of course, it could take like a lot of time. It's maybe around 2 months. I mean, based on the previous examples. But yeah, this is what I'm looking for about in Dixie. I mean, when we were here, of course, I was calling for the deviation here as well. It's kind of it's nice that it kind of worked out. But yeah, near. Do I have it in my watch list? USDT the P Bybit. Holy, I have a lot of levels here. Let's actually redo the chart completely. Okay. So, and I mean, on the weekly, I mean, this chart looks good, honestly. This is what I was talking with my friends a couple of days ago. So usually, I mean, BTC is kind of working on a new all-time high. It's currently consolidating below. I mean, we haven't had a bull market like before, like 2020 2021 yet. But if you have a token, a chart that looks like this prior to the bull market, and like after the BTC halving and all those narrative that we got, all those fundamentals that we got about the next bull market, if you had a altcoin chart like this, it just looks good, you know. It just looks good. And now I don't know which exchange has the most amount of like history data. Yeah, this is, you see what I'm talking about, right? That these rounded bottoms. I mean, I know we should have a little bit of data from here as well, but the reason that I said that is because if you mark the range high on the weekly chart, right? So this is the range, this was the low, this is the first high after the low, right? So this is important level for us. I mean, I think around 2 years after that, we come gain it up, gain above it, retest it, and it's kind of working out the next leg to the upside, right? So looks good on the weekly, of course. If you are an investor, if you bought this for as an investment for long term holding, looks good. Yeah, but let's talk about the daily, right? So you find the high, find the next, find the first low after the high. Okay, so this is going to be my range, right? And just textbook, guys. This is literally what I told you at the beginning of the stream. So you look for the deviation, right? When you find acceptance inside, you want to enter a long position at the retest, right? And target the other extreme. And this one, of course, you didn't even need a market volume profile for that. But look at that. I mean, I have used volume profile a lot, that I know for a fact that they're kind of aligning together. But yeah, you see, double deviation confirmed here. You wait for the retest. On the retest, you also have 3 take profit points. One here at the POC, value area high, and the range high, right? Of course, I told you, if it's kind of, we're entering the crypto bull market, so it's always a good idea to keep a little bit of your position open for like higher targets, if given, of course. Now Carlos is asking about JASMY. I mean, is not a chart that I have in my watch list. Okay. Binance. Yeah. I mean, of course, ranging on the. I mean, it did another good example. Just looks like MATIC, right? So you have a chart that looks like this before the bull market. So 400% before the bull market. Usually good. Usually suggests, I mean, strong movements in the future. But yeah. So let's start on a daily, because we don't have a lot of time as well. So yeah, let's find our range. I want to mark this, right? You add the profile. Yeah, you see, same thing from here, and this is my point of interest in for a long on JASMY. So yeah, we haven't tested the value area low here, right? So deviation here, but this is basically what I'm looking for. But one thing that I don't like about JASMY is that we didn't go below this low. Okay, so we have only one deviation outside the volume range, not the price action range, right? So this is just one thing that you need to take into consideration. But yeah, I still think along from here, I think, yeah, along from here, targeting the range high, yeah, gives you a 4-hour trade. Looks fine. Looks fine. Sepster says, is the level at 62,500 below the volume and the price action? Let me go on Bitcoin chart. The CME close is also in that area. How reliable is a closure for CME gap? As a point of interest, of course, CME gaps. I think they are usually good confluences to have on your charts. Do I have the CME chart here? Yeah, I yeah, kind of feel though. I see what you mean, but yeah, 62,900. Yeah, I mean, kinda that. I mean, kinda. You're right, but this gap is almost filled. But my levels are, yeah, it's so about 61,800 is the level that I'm watching. For the value area, for retest of the value area low, right? So this is what I'm looking for on BTC. I mean, this is just an. I hope we get filled, but this is what I'm looking for, right? So we are at the point of control. If we lose the point of control, a retest of the value area high would lead us to the sorry. So a retest of the value area low would lead us to the value area high. This is what I'm looking for. This is my entry, and this is going to be my target. So around 3.8R. Of course, I would keep a little bit I would keep it open for higher prices, maybe a new all-time high and a push higher. But this is what I'm looking for. Another thing that is important is that I had I have an indicator from a long time ago, which is called intraday levels, and I can find the okay, so this is the previous month. Yeah, this is basically, we can also go here to test the previous month close, which is the monthly open as well. So monthly open is around here as well. Okay, monthly open here. I'm not sure if we are going to get a retest from to here to 6,600, but it's always a good. It's always good, right? So because you can buy more, right? When we're talking about like 12 hour time frame, daily time frame, it's always good to kind of keep a little bit of your capital aside to buy more in the events like this. So if we come, I would buy here. I would buy here as well, because these are just two levels that are very important for me. One is the monthly open, another one is the value area low of this huge like range, which passed like for 60 days, 2 months almost, right? So yeah, this is how I am going to play it personally. But yeah, use a Spaceman BTC key levels. Yeah, I know Spaceman BTC's key levels indicator. The reason that I created mine was that mine is a little bit different. I have inputs for the the volume levels as well. So value area high, POC, value area low. I'm not sure if it's a Spaceman BTC's indicator has this. So you see value area high, previous week value area high, POC, value area low. Yeah. Also, I want to kind of embed it inside my liquidation levels indicator. So you get something like this. Usually they gives you like interesting confluences. That's why I created one rather than using the already existing one. But yeah, so it's almost 1 hour into the stream. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, let's close this one and talk more in the Discord and Twitter and other places. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'd really appreciate that. Appreciate your questions. We had great questions, great chart suggestions. Bernd asked for the Dixie, which was nice. I forgot to look at it this morning. So yeah, Erica, thank you for tuning in. But yeah, thanks guys. It was a great stream. No BC Richfield today though. But yeah, hope. Yeah, BC. Yeah, you just asked that, right? I'm not, but I'm not sure if BC is going as well. But he's not here. He kind of asked. I covered the public stream for him, right? But I think it's fine. He's kind of taking a rest. Lazy ass BC Richfield. Have a nice day, guys. It was a great pleasure, and see you in the Discord. Bye bye.